I hope that you have your coffee handy for our Coffee with Kendall for this month. I'd like to welcome you and thank you all for joining us today. We are going to be featuring one of our favorites. This is a guided land tour company with a special touch of style. It is called Insight Vacations, and we have our travel partner with Insight with us today. She is going to be highlighting two fantastic itineraries for you to think about. One will be this fall domestically, and then the second trip will be overseas for next year. So two exciting opportunities to travel with Insight Vacations. Several of the team members have traveled with Insight over the years, so we have firsthand experience and would be happy to share that with you. For those of you that have not had the ability to work with us yet, I am Kendall Mead. I am the owner of Brandt Travel. We have a team of 8, and we are at your disposal to provide you with expert customer service, and paired with that exceptional operation that Insight Vacation has, you will be set up for fabulous success. So without further ado, I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee. And then I'm going to turn it over to our host this morning, Mandy Wilson with Insight Vacations. So
Thank you so much, Kendall. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you guys on camera. I am going to share my screen and share with you guys a little bit more about Insight Vacations and what it's like to travel with us. And also talk about 2 trips that we wanted to highlight today with Coffee with Kendall. So welcome to Insight Vacations. We like to travel in comfort and style when we travel with Insight Vacations. And so what does this mean? We're traveling by luxury motor coach throughout the destination. We've taken a typical 53-seat motor coach and removed seats so that guests have twice the legroom and twice the view. So typically, on average, guests will have about 10 to 11 inches more of space, and it does make the ride that much more enjoyable. We say if you're traveling in premium economy or business class to a destination, why not travel throughout the destination that way as well? Our group sizes are smaller groups. We're up to 40 people traveling together. We do have smaller groups than this on our tours as well. And on a guided tour, there's so many things to experience. Such as the culinary experience, the sightseeing, connecting with other travelers, and so much more. One thing I love about an Insight Vacations tour is our culinary experience. Guests have the opportunity to dine at a local's home while on trip with us, and we call that Dine at Home. We have partners throughout destinations that we work with, and they invite us into their home. They share a meal with us. We get to live a life of a local for those few hours that we're together. We also have choice on those included meals with our dine around experiences, and that's where guests have the opportunity to pick from a few restaurant options, and they will dine in smaller groups at these restaurants together. All of our choices that we have included are farm to table, sea to table. We want to make sure that we have those vegetarian options as well for guests that want that or need that while traveling. What we have on a lot of our trips is our Make Travel Matter experiences, and those are near and dear to our hearts. We want to make sure that we preserve the places that we're visiting, and we do so by looking after the people, the planet, and the wildlife. So when you travel with us, you'll experience at least one Make Travel Matter experience, and that's an opportunity to get to know the locals, to support what they have going on, and also just learn a little bit of history and culture while we're in the destination together. Of course, we're seeing the iconic sites. We're skipping the line. We're getting right in to see what we came to see. We know that your time is valuable, so we want to skip those lines or have those VIP entrances so that you can see and do other things while you're on vacation. I love our travel directors. They are with us from the start of the trip to the end of the trip, and they are your best friend in the destination. They are problem solvers, they are memory makers. They really do it all for our guests. And that is one thing that I consistently hear when I talk to past travelers, is our travel director made our trip. So you will love your travel directors on the trip. They are there to share their knowledge, make sure you're having fun, but also be your tour guide throughout the trip. So let's dive into a couple of our trips that we have for you guys this year. You can travel with Brandt Travel next year on Best of Ireland and Scotland. This tour date is July 25th through August 7th of 2024. Everybody that goes to to Ireland and Scotland, they have a list of things that they want to see and do. And we definitely check those boxes. So when we're in Dublin, we're going to the Guinness Storehouse. We're making sure that we go over to Trinity College, see the Book of Kells, the old library. We see St. Patrick's Cathedral. We have a lot of time there with our local specialists, but also a lot of free time for you guys to get to explore the destination. Some other cool things that we do is we are going to a national stud farm. And this is where legendary racehorses are bred. We're also visiting the Japanese garden, which is one of the best in Europe. In Cork, we have the opportunity to do some sightseeing with our local specialists. And I feel like a lot of people really enjoy wandering through the Blarney Castle. It's an opportunity to kiss the Blarney Stone if you dare. You'll supposedly receive the gift of gab. You also will have time to walk through the gardens and explore the castle grounds. A trip to Ireland is not complete without a tour of Ring of Kerry, so we're doing that. We're stopping for lunch. We have a lot of time to take pictures and just enjoy our day together as we experience the Ring of Kerry. The Cliffs of Moher is definitely a sight that everybody must see. And we have our local guide taking us on a walking tour of the Cliffs of Moher. And then you'll have some free time to explore on your own, continue your journey as you walk around the cliffs, or go to the gift shop because it is pretty impressive. There's also a restaurant there that I think has one of the best Guinness stews around. And then from there, we're going on to Galway via the Camara region, which is beautiful lakes and streams, and also the Sligo Bay area. The Giant's Causeway is a ton of fun. And when we're there, we're meeting Rowan. He's a local guide. And I tell you, the people in Ireland and Northern Ireland can spin a tale. And he's got some really good stories to tell you on how Giant's Causeway was created. He's going to introduce you to the giants that supposedly created all of the stepping stones and why they did. And then he'll also tell you exactly how Giant's Causeway was created. We want to make sure that we enjoy our time here. So you will have some free time there. We're doing some high tea as well. We're experiencing Glencoe. You're hearing the story of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. And then of course, we're going on to the Highlands experience. If we have any golfers, or if you enjoy watching golf, we are stopping by St. Andrews, where you'll have time to explore and see the old course. Perhaps maybe you want to walk over to St. Andrews University and explore a little there while we're together. And then we're headed on to Edinburgh, where we have a very special treat for you guys. The reason I started with this trip, because it is in 2024, is because I want to make sure that you guys know how special the military tattoo is in Edinburgh. And this is an opportunity for guests to experience one of those bucket list items. We have a lot of people that have never been, that this is their top reason for traveling on this particular tour, or even throughout Scotland in August. So it's an opportunity to see all the armed forces come together from around the world. It's about, I think it's about 100 minutes that they perform. And it's a concert. It's a beautiful sight. And we have priority seats for this event. So they're located at the top and the bottom of the theater there. And we also get right in because of our group size and the fact that we're there. So you have somebody helping you navigate through this experience, which is going to make it even more enjoyable. Just a couple things with this experience. It is an outdoor venue, as you can see from the photo here. So make sure that you prepare for the elements, right? Maybe bring a parka or a rain jacket. I would recommend, wearing long pants, or bringing a towel to sit on the stadium seats there. Definitely wear comfortable shoes, because you are going to be doing a little bit of walking. But know that this is an amazing experience, and it's something that is on many people's bucket list items. So what's always included when you travel with us? Of course, we're seeing the iconic sites. We're skipping right in. We have VIP entrance to some of those sites where it's just our group going together either before the attraction opens or after hours. Daily breakfast, half your evening meals, transportation, of course, all of your hotels, and a lot of fun. And so the price point for this particular trip, we're looking at $5,775 per person, and that's based on 2 people in a room. And then we also have our single supplement rate. So if you are a solo traveler, you would want to add the $940 to that rate. Before I move on to the next trip, I wanted to see if anybody had any questions, or also, Kendall, did you want to add anything on this particular tour?
Well, one thing I just really want to reiterate to your point, Mandy, because the Ireland and Scotland journey includes that special event of the military tattoo, it will be highly sought after. And that means that that trip will book up much more quickly than some of the other departures earlier in the season. So that also means that at some point in time, Insight's going to knock on Brandt Travel's door and say, Kendall, I've got to take some of that group space back because we have other folks that are interested in going. So I do want to encourage you, if seeing the military tattoo next year is on your list, please do consider booking it as soon as possible. I know it seems like it's a little bit further out, and in a lot of instances, we can book land tours closer to the time of travel. That is one that requires us to book early. So just wanted to drive that home.
Thank you, Kendall. And that's a good point. Speaking of booking early, yes, you definitely want to secure your seat now, but also the first 10 people to book after our webinar this morning will get $100 off per person on their trip.
Yes.
So that is a nice incentive. Go ahead, sorry.
That's exciting. So if you are interested in booking following our presentation today, you're going to give me a quick call, send me a text or email and tell me I love Insight. So I'm going to know that you were participating in today's event. And then yes, you will save $100 off per person.
That's a great savings. And I think that it's definitely incentive to go ahead and secure your seat. So I would like to go ahead and move on. We do have
one quick question, Mandy, I just received. I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you give a few examples of the hotels that we were staying in on the Ireland and Scotland trip?
Yes, I can. Let me, if you don't mind, I'm just going to stop sharing for a quick second and pull that up so that I can tell you. I'm happy to do that. Let's see here.
One thing you need to know about Insight is that the properties that they stay in are usually of a higher quality than some of the other moderate brands. So, and they do try to overnight more often in one hotel so that your journey is a little bit more of a leisure pace. You're not switching hotels every single day. So as soon as Mandy gets together.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then you also have more time in that city to relax and explore and see the sights. So yes, we start in Dublin. We're staying at the Clayton Hotel there in Dublin for 2 nights. From there, we go on to Cork, and we're staying at the Clayton Hotel Sligo in Cork. It could also be a Radisson Blu. So it looks like there's one of 2 choices there. And then when we get to, let's see here, I'm just reading through this. When we get to Northern Ireland, we have in Ballygally, we have the Ballygally Castle Hotel, which will be an amazing experience as well. So those are just some of the examples. The Killarney Plaza Hotel in Killarney is a beautiful place, full of history that we get to stay at as well. And there is a PDF that Kendall has all of this information for you guys. So we'll make sure that we share that with you as well.
Absolutely. I can send you the complete itinerary with every day's details and inclusions, and also it will list out those hotels. So you can just send me an email that you're interested in one of these, and I'll be glad to share that with you. Okay, Mandy, go ahead.
Okay, great. So we are visiting the Canyonlands. This tour is October 8th through the 14th of 2023. So it is a 6-night, 7-day tour, great for those that want to take about a week off from work or get out of town for about a week. So we arrive into Phoenix. Our Insight Vacations transfer will be waiting for you guys to take you over to Scottsdale. You'll have the afternoon in Scottsdale or the day, depending on when you arrive, to relax and explore on your own. We'll meet our fellow companions at a welcome dinner that evening and get to know everyone before heading out to do some really cool sightseeing the next day. So we are meeting Canyon Tim, and he is going to take us around the south rim of the Grand Canyon for a guided tour. And then this evening, we are staying at the Grand Canyon National Park. So we're staying at the park when we travel through the Canyonlands, which is great. From there, we're getting up. The next day, you have a leisurely start. So make sure that you get up and view the sunrise there in the Grand Canyon. I'm sure it's absolutely stunning. We have a Make Travel Matter experience today in Monument Valley. We're meeting a local guide that's going to tell us about the Navajo Tribal Park. And they will guide us through the history, the culture. We'll get to spend a little bit of time with our guide before enjoying a Navajo cookout. And that'll be in the valley itself, picnic style. So that's going to be very special. And then tonight we are staying 2 nights. We'll check into the Lake Powell Resort and Marinas, and we're staying 2 nights there. So the next day is yours. You have a leisurely day to explore as you wish. Sleep in or don't, but get out and see the sights and take advantage of the beautiful nature that you'll be in. From there, we're going on to Bryce Canyon and Zion. To get to Bryce, though, we're going to travel through the scenic highway of 89, which is recognized by the National Geographic as the #1 driver's drive in the world. So we'll get to see that as we drive over to Zion, and we'll stay there at the National Park at Zion. And then from there, we have a private charter open-aired vehicle that will take us throughout the area and into the canyon for some additional sightseeing of this park, which will be absolutely stunning. So the Jeeps are open-aired. You're broken up into smaller groups. I think each one holds about 6 people. And so we will travel throughout the area in this open-aired vehicle, which is always a favorite from our guests that have been on this trip. And then that evening, we have a farewell dinner with our newfound friends and our travel companions. And then the next day, we will transfer guests to the Salt Lake City Airport for the departure. So for this particular tour, based on 2 people in a room, it's $3,499 a person. The single supplement, if you are a solo travel, you would add the $1,087 to that price as well. And then just some of the highlights we talked about. The Grand Canyon obviously is a highlight. I've got some people that I'm admitting. I'm sorry, I see them popping up, Kendall. So I don't mean to be distracted, but I wanted to make sure I got them in. And then of course, like the trip that we talked about with Scotland and Ireland, you've got daily breakfast, half your evening meals, transportation, local guides, amazing accommodations, which we went over, and so much more. So it really is a great way to see a new place, a new destination. Insight Vacations and Brandt Travel are experts at what they do, and we hope that you will join us. And again, if you are one of the first 10 people to book, you'll save that $100 per person. So we definitely encourage that. Kendall, did you want to add anything on this particular tour that maybe I forgot to mention?
Well, one thing I do want to share is that our national parks are always a hot destination and a place that many of us have been once before. But it is nothing like when you've had to try to trek those ways on your own and navigate a vehicle through those parks, trying to find parking. It is really a nice experience to have the entire tour planned out for you so that you have, like Mandy mentioned, in one of the parks, you're able to go in small group vehicles that's already pre-planned for you. You don't have to worry about where am I going to park and how many people are going to be there that day, and do I have to stand in the long lines, or am I going to be able to stay in those highly acclaimed lodges inside the national parks? All of those reservations are taken care of for you, and the fact that you are in a business class style motor coach just adds to the beauty of the drive. So I do think seeing the national parks with Insight is a treat, even if you have done it before.
That's a great point. And yes, we do have that priority access. So you're right. The logistics side of it is so much easier with an Insight Vacations tour. Good point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So any additional questions before we allow Mandy to go on her way for the day? You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask the question. You can also put it in the chat box. Okay. Well, it appears that we have answered all questions. We must have done an exceptional job talking about these trips today. I will tell you before I let you go that if one of these tours or another tour of interest is something that you're considering, please do reach out to one of the team members, and we will be glad to send you the complete itinerary so that you can review exactly what's included for each day. Insight Vacations does have some wonderful tours that have leisure starts to the day, so you're not up and going at 6 a.m. So if that's something that interests you, we can certainly find that for you. And like we said, for participating today, you will be able to contact us, and the first 10 to book any Insight vacation, then you have to tell me, I love Insight, then I'll know you've been on here with us. You're going to save $100 per person.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I was led to believe that it also be a little presentation about Spain and Portugal.
On today's presentation, we are not going to be speaking about that itinerary, but we certainly do have information and would be glad to review that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us with Coffee for Kendall today. I hope you enjoyed our presentation and look forward to seeing more from us in the future. So have a great day.
Thank you.